Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Break the Fake, where we debunk fake news and combat false narratives. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee, and let's get rolling. All right, guys, Solovyov and his merry band of Kremlin clowns are at it again. Now, this time pitching a brilliant proposal for Donald Trump. The plan? Hand over Russian deposits frozen in Western banks, and in return, they'll take all of Ukraine's Black Sea coastline. Genius. Never mind that the land belongs to Ukraine and not the United States. Details, details. Why let international borders or basic logic ruin a good imperialist fantasy? Now, to sweeten the deal, these Kremlin masterminds are even throwing in their friendship and a military alliance. Russia, the United States, and China. The ultimate superpower trio. It's like a middle school lunchroom where the least popular kid desperately tries to buy friendships with grandiose promises. And naturally, they forgot to mention their trusty sidekicks, Iran and North Korea. Poor Kim Jong-un and the Ayatollah must be feeling left out.
Если им так хочется, вот пусть они заберут наши 300 миллиардов с Трампом сделают. Да. И отдадут нам все до Приднестровья.
Да.
Вот, ну, затем, мы готовы купить. Не, ну разумно нет.
Ну, да.
Все, значит, вы там отселяете в Польшу, куда хотите, там, Венгрию, Румынию. До Приднестровья. Черное море наше. Тихо, спокойно до Днепра мы. А дальше пока посмотрим. Да. По-моему, идеальный вариант завершения.
Очень хороший.
Мы даем 300 миллиардов. До следующего транша. Да, мы 300 миллиардов, а вы... Ты представляешь, что будет, если мы создадим единый военный союз с Америкой и с Китаем?
Да.
Знаешь, что Трамп сейчас скажет? Что-то я посмотрел на все это, гораздо интереснее.
Да.
И Европа так, сейчас, минуточку, а Трамп скажет, ну, смотрите, ну это же у вас трансгендеры, у вас демократы, вы хотите Украину в НАТО. А Америка говорит, не хочу Украину в НАТО. Поэтому давайте, значит, мы из НАТО выходим и с русскими...
Кстати,
возобновляем военный союз, как во времена Великой Отечественной войны.
Now, this proposal is the diplomatic equivalent of trying to buy Greenland with monopoly money. But the Kremlin seems to think it's a masterpiece of strategy. Solovyov's ability to dream up absurdities is rivaled only by his knack for ignoring reality. But at least he's keeping the comedy coming. At least his nonsense gives the rest of the world something to laugh about. Russia dreams of imperial domination over the Black Sea, and why stop there? Why not all of Europe? But despite its lofty ambitions and even reinforcements from North Korea, it can't seem to secure its own soil. Take the Kursk region, where Ukrainian forces are reportedly holding out. Imperial conquests? Or like imperial embarrassment? Now, acting Governor Alexander Hinstein held a meeting with the region's residents, who dared to ask basic questions like, when can we go home? Will our damaged houses be rebuilt? His response? A shrug of the shoulders and a master class in bureaucratic evasion. Apparently, issuing housing certifications isn't his thing. But rest assured, officials are using aerial photography to assess the damage. Talk about cutting-edge governance. The best part? When Hinstein asked the crowd if anyone doubted Russia's ability to liberate the area, a few brave souls actually raised their hands. Now, the governor's face must have been priceless as he struggled to respond. Eventually, they all agreed. Yes, it will be liberated, just not sure when.
Заявление на сертификаты, которые уже поданы, количество сертификатов, которые выданы, и количество сертификатов, которые потенциально людям причитается, кратно выше, чем объем всего строительства жилья в Курской области. Я думаю, вы это тоже понимаете. И это еще одна проблема, с которой, к сожалению, я здесь столкнулся. Потому что на территории региона очень небольшой объем строительства, и, по сути, стройка идет только в крупных городах. И у людей, у вас, дальше, после получения сертификата, по большому счету, выбор-то небольшой. Почему застройщики начали поднимать цены? Потому что нет конкуренции.
Typical Kremlin posturing. They can barely handle Kursk, but they're dreaming of marching on Paris. Keep it up, guys. Your delusions are as big as your failures. Now, time for Tucker Carlson to deliver yet another theatrical performance showcasing unfounded conspiracy theories. What was it this time? A dramatic claim that the Biden administration tried to assassinate Putin to kick off World War III. No evidence, no details, just the usual speculative rhetoric served with a straight face. Truly impressive work in turning conjecture into headlines. Now, according to Tucker's vivid storytelling, Secretary of State Antony Blinken supposedly orchestrated the entire plot, because clearly, in a world overflowing with real problems, this would be the logical focus of U.S. foreign policy.
I think that's one of the reasons that Tony Blinken was pushing so hard for a real war, trying to kill Putin, for example, which the Biden administration did. They tried to kill Putin.
Really?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
Which is insane. If okay, so who takes over Russia?
Right.
And what happens to the nuclear arsenal in a country that's like so complex, outsiders can't even understand? I mean, you live there, you know. That's demented that you would even think of something like that.
Absolutely.
So why were they? Because chaos is a screen that protects them. I mean, I don't know this. That's just like watching what they're doing. I'm like, why would they be doing that? Part of it is because like it's like when you're taking off the roof of the embassy in Saigon, you burn all the papers, right?
Absolutely.
But they can't because they're digital. So maybe you need like a war to hide your tracks.
Or to keep the public's attention.
That's what I mean.
Elsewhere.
Same
Right.
thing,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. I had the same fears, and that was part of my thinking when they started, approving the firing of American missiles into Russian territory and British missiles and French missiles. I'm like, why would you do, what possible reason would there be to do this? You're not really going to make any military gains by doing this. So you're doing it either to provoke the other side or to create a headline. The headline, I don't think it gets you.
Now, it's no wonder that Putin's propagandists are delighted. Why spend resources on state-run media when narratives like this echo across international airwaves for free? Such tales do more to validate Kremlin's talking points than any official press release could ever hope to achieve. Now, while the creativity on display is undeniable, it is worth remembering that speculation dressed as fact often creates more noise than clarity, and the world already has plenty of that. While Western leaders meticulously audit every cent sent to Ukraine, North Korean artillery is pouring into Russia like a gift-wrapped package from Kim Jong-un himself. Yes, the West's dream of a quick end to the war may yet come true, just not in the way anyone intended. An isolated Ukraine facing the combined weight of two brutal regimes might struggle to endure. But is this really the peace Western politicians are counting on? In Russia, convoys of North Korean M1989 Korksan artillery are rolling straight toward the Kursk region, where fierce battles rage on. Over 1,000 square kilometers remain under Ukrainian control, and the Kremlin seems fresh out of ideas or resources to reclaim it. Desperate times calls for desperate alliances, which is why 20,000 North Korean soldiers are now doing Putin's dirty work. The result? A catastrophic 10,000 casualties among Kim's troops, forcing a temporary retreat from the front lines. So much for the myth of unstoppable brotherly reinforcements. The Kremlin is burning through both lives and borrowed artillery faster than it can replace them, all while propagandists assure everyone that victory is just around the corner. Now, bravo to the West's Putin apologists who shrug off the steady stream of North Korean aid while nitpicking every missile Ukraine receives. Turns out, peace isn't achieved by appeasement, but by fueling a dictator's imperialist fantasies. And with that, we conclude this edition of Break the Fake. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.